Hey folks, welcome everyone. Happy Friday to you all. Just in case you are joining us for the first time, I would like to introduce these Brian Mice from the RAKStars team I have around me. Jose Marcelino, our solution architect.
Hello, everyone.
He joining us every week. Every week because we haven't
We've
doing
been
it over
lazy.
the last weeks. Exactly. More than lazy, we are cooking some stuff for the community.
Yeah.
So that is a pretty cool thing. But yeah, it's our well-known host over the Hangout with Raxel session, and also we have Johan Matias, our developer advocate for the product Helium line, who also have been joining a couple of sessions and coming with cool projects to hack with the Helium ecosystem. How you doing today, guys?
I'm doing great. Yeah. Yeah, it's February already. Like the year is going crazy, and but
Yeah.
lots of exciting stuff, as you say, are coming very, very soon.
Any new or something interesting that you would like to share about, like around the Helium ecosystem?
Well, Helium has been super busy, as people may know. There's a couple of heap. So these are the proposals that keep Helium moving. There's a couple of proposals to set up LoRaWAN and 5G separate entities called subDAOs. This is quite exciting. Also, there's some kind of two hips recently passed, 45 and 46. This is quite interesting for countries running commercial networks already. To roam onto Helium, this is a good way to use a lot of data and to promote the IoT usage. And
Exactly.
it's great that Helium is becoming kind of the fabric to connect all these separate networks. It's becoming kind of the internet for LoRa, basically, all around
Amazing.
AT&T. Yeah,
It
super
is.
exciting.
It's pretty nice to see like the whole change. Like maybe we could see how last year Helium
Yes.
was impacting the expanding like the expansion of the network, but right now they are looking to those strategic activities to start pushing those IoT solution in top of the network. And here is where Rats also comes in with all the product ecosystem we have, and also helping all the community to build their actual solutions. In today's session, we have like a small funny project, but behind that there is like some technical stuff that can be really valuable for you to maybe not display a love message, but display your data in a physical way, or maybe use an trigger method by using the accelerometer to detect something. And it's pretty cool when you see like this kind of fun project that we do for the community, but in another perspective, and that they can build an actual and a real IoT device that can be deployed in top of the Helium network. So yeah, that's nice. Like as just mentioned at the beginning, like we have been well, Jose mentioned that we have been a little bit lazy on the sessions, but as I say, we are cooking some stuff. Our developer relation team is growing. We are like onboarding people, getting these all these Brian mind together to cook cool stuff, and also to build a more community space where all of you, just those who are connected, can also join this stage and show the things that you are building as well. So just for this session, we have something special. We don't have a special guest. We have a special holiday today. So from the community, we are looking also to address some specific holidays, not just like today, but all during the year, with some like fun projects, but at the same time, I just share technically interesting so you can get other relevant use cases out of them. For this holiday, we're going to be sharing the Valentine's Day. Like every day is a wonderful day to express our love, but we all know that Valentine's Day is just like a great excuse to be sweeter than ever. So maybe some of you are going to say, okay, St. Valentine's Day is next week. Why we are going to have this session today? But we just wanted to have like that last minute gift that you can build over the weekend to give on Monday to your loved ones. So that is why we're having this session today. And also, because we are doing a giveaway as well that we're going to be sharing more details and over the session. So Johan Macias, our developer advocate, is going to be sharing like how to build a WisBlock Heart for Valentine's Day, including all the technical features implemented to manage this project to start to finish, including its advantages when used in more purpose products. So at the end of the session, what you're going to be learning out of this is that you can integrate your WisBlock to the Helium console using the WisBlock API. And also you will learn how to manage two physical interaction using the e-paper display model from the WisBlock to show your love messages and an accelerometer to trigger as a triggering method to switch between the different message already save on the display, or even better, you can update and change the message that you are going to be displaying on the display. So yeah, that's all. And for the giveaway, we already announced it over our Twitter account. You can go and check it out. But the giveaway is going to be open until February 14, the Valentine's Day. Just to participate, it's pretty easy. You just all the things you have to do is follow us on the Rag Wireless Hackster Hub. I'm going to be leaving the link on the comments so you can just click and follow us right there. And in case you are already a follower, don't worry, you can also participate. The only thing that you need to do is leave a comment on the last post, which is the San Valentine Day post, where we share all the step by step that you need to follow to carry out this project. So without further ado, a long intro to my side, it's time to start with the things that we have prepared for today. So Johan, the stage all George.
Okay, this is the case for the final result. This is just the case. And here I have the WisBlock connected to my computer in order to show you a little bit about how it works using a serial interface where you can watch all the logs from the device. So basically, we have the electronic paper display of the WisBlock, the baseboard, the core, and an accelerometer connected to the baseboard. And every time I shake the heart, it switches the message on the screen. For example, I using to display the rack logo and a message that you can read over here. Let's switch another message. This is a very popular one and a very good one. And wanted to say hello.
Perfect time to start. Hello, RAKStars.
Yeah. So let's go deeper into the step by step on how to do it. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about how was my experience designing this project, because this project is intended to be to show you some tips and tricks on how to use the WisBlock API to build your own projects. For example, that display can be used in another project to show, for example, the data that your sensors are measuring, and some pretty cool things that your creativity can find. So I'm going to share my screen to show you a little bit about all the step by step. This is my screen. I think Maria can show my screen right now.
Mm-hmm.
This is the step by step guide. And here you can find the list of every one of the components that we are using, the software tools, a story to introduce the project. And let's start with the hardware setup, which is the result that I'm showing right now. And in this guide, you can find all the instructions on how to connect the WisBlock modules, instructions to download the 3D models. This is my first 3D case design. I learned a lot designing this case. For example, the first thing that I print it was this one. It's no red. I was just trying to print my first design. However, it was not perfect. The first thing that I identified, for example, it was that I printed in this way. So I didn't have a space in the case for sliding the electronic paper display. So I needed to use a tool to open. And okay, in my next design, I will include a hole for the for sliding the e-paper display. And one of and the other thing was I didn't add enough space to put the electronic paper display over here. So I needed to print a new one. The new one was this, where I decide, okay, I know that the heart shape is printing very well. However, I need to print faster because I generally 3D printing it can take some hours to get your result. So I need to iterate faster in my design. So I just print the e-paper holder.
Yeah, the base.
So for this one, this is my model for the e-paper display. A piece
To
of
avoid getting the damage.
yeah, kind of that. So I started with this one, and this one was my third iteration. My second iteration was this one, where I added too much space of the e-paper display didn't fit very well into the case. So the third one was this, the final one that I used for the red one, and that was a perfect fit on the e-paper display. It's no moving at all, and I can fit in this way right now.
And then
So
like you just bevel that into to the actual heart.
yeah, before printing, I just cut that section. Okay, this is ready to print. Okay, let's try how it goes. And for the final design, oh, okay, this is not the final design. Okay, I was making errors all the time. This one was very fragile, so when I start to click,
Yeah, it broke. Yeah.
and
The walls was too tiny. So when you put it like with the other piece and when connect it, like assemble all together, it gets broken.
yeah, and another detail of this that is that I didn't have clicking mechanism to snap the two pieces together. So I added into the bottom
Yeah, I
part.
can see it. Let me just put it in the bigger screen so everyone can see it better. Yeah.
Was a
This
little lip
is
there.
yeah.
The lip, yeah.
However, the first time that I print this one, I didn't have enough space for that. So I needed to use my solder iron to make this.
Hacking.
Yeah, tip and tricks for 3D printing design.
To get it the actual that works as it should.
So the current result, it has a perfect line because it's included in the design.
Nice.
And it's useful for getting this kind of click, which is the final one. So when you're ready with your design, you can test the clicking part because I I tried several times until I get the result.
The
I'm very proud of this result because it's my first 3D case design. So I think I make it a little bit. I gave my best for this, and I think that the result is good. I think.
yeah, actually, like when I see when you see like this heart, when you see it in pictures, it's bigger than you think. When you get it in your hands, it's super tiny. And when I have it in my hands and I make like all the closing mechanisms, it was super like smooth to do it, simple to attach it to the other piece as well as to remove it, which is the crucial things when you are doing 3D printers. Like sometimes you do like this kind of mechanisms, and then after you click the two pieces, you can remove them because it's too hard, and then when you do it you broke the pieces. So it is crucial to have like a nice mechanism over here, and you did it really really well. Congrats on that.
Thanks, thanks. So when you are ready uh, with your case, you can use the supports for the screws on the for supporting the base, and use a screwdriver to put all the WisBlock modules in the case.
Okay.
I
Let's
have a
start.
question.
Okay,
I
go
have a
ahead.
question that maybe can be like relevant for all of those who are watching us. Can you go you pair to the image, please? To the image
Which
that
one?
is, yeah,
The video.
that one, yeah, that the video.
Okay.
So there I can see there are two extra holes, one in top of the WisBlock and one in the downside. Why are those holes right there?
Those quotes are for people who have some big batteries. Because, for example, for my first one, I'm using this tiny battery, so I can
Mm-hmm.
use some tape to
Just glue it. Mm-hmm.
yeah. If you have if you have several batteries, as I have, if you have bigger batteries, you can use, for example, the other two holes to
To mount like
use.
a support plate to
Yeah,
just
for
place the
example,
battery top.
these kind of things
Okay.
to
Yeah.
to to
Mm.
screw into the case, and
Mm-hmm.
use another. I think you can print another
Plate,
yeah plate
yeah,
to put
support plate.
your battery, and use screwdrivers um, to support the battery.
Okay.
Something um, like the
Our
mechanism
box,
that we have for
yeah,
our yeah.
outer
I'm
box, yeah. So
I'm going
basically,
to
you
show.
just use the supports, place the metallic plate in top of the WisBlock, and then you just place the battery with a tape right there. So if you are already familiar with our ecosystem, the idea of Johan where he was just to replicate that and also have that modularity that the WisBlock offer in the actual heart.
Yeah,
Mm.
it doesn't have the same size that we use for our for this box
Red box.
because the EPD, the electronic paper display, it's a little bigger, so yeah, it hasn't in this
Right. On
design.
the standard
Mhm.
box.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
the idea is to do something like this.
Right.
Okay. Awesome. Good
And
to clarify it.
how do you have the display in place? Because you don't have anything you don't have any adhesive or anything sticking the display down, right? Is it just held by the
I think
screws?
I think that's why Johan like iterate so much
Let's with the
on the
design of the.
display. Yeah, on the in that
Mm,
design to make it like super smooth to just make sure that it was not going to be moved, and the pressure that is being uh, pushed into the actual display is the one that is pressured by the WisBlock itself screw it
okay.
into the base.
Okay. So it doesn't need anything.
Right.
Great.
No,
Yeah.
just the base screw and that's it.
Wow.
and I'm going to
Understand.
use the same dimensions and the and version of that to build my other cases using that EQD because
Oh, I
it
see.
works.
Awesome.
Oh, you should just
Like
use the hard case now forever. Just always the hard case
okay, a mapper with a hard
with the
phone.
heart. Could be your the new brand.
Yeah. Eh,
Nice.
Talking about the mapper, since 3D printing is really new for me,
Hmm.
this is, for example, one of other pieces that I print. This one is intended to use in our mm, tiny baseboard, maybe to put
Ah,
some modules over there. And someone else in the community designs this case. Maybe I can share um, a little image about the end result, which is really awesome.
It's pretty cool. For all of those helium lovers, it is like the perfect mapper for all of them. Just for the look and feel of the actual
Yeah,
case.
I'm going to
mm.
drop the
This is
it
just
the
a big parenthesis on the hard San Valentine's project.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, we have a we have a pulse sensor now. That's a great idea, actually. Yes.
Awesome,
Yeah,
mother.
this is what I was talking about. Is OG helium
Mm,
upper,
yeah.
It's pretty cool.
and all
Johan, can you leave me the links on our chat so I can share it over the comments over here as well, please?
yeah, yeah. There you go.
Thank you.
I on my screen I'm watching my son like my screen. Is it showing okay my screen?
Yeah, it's
Hmm.
okay. We are
Okay,
seeing the OG hotspot
okay,
design.
because I can see my screen. However, it had some strange colors on it. So
Oh,
just checking that.
that happens to me once on Mac, so don't worry, everything's
Okay,
okay.
okay. So the next step is regarding to the firmware itself. And the firmware of this project is based on the WisBlock API. We talked a little bit about the WisBlock API before. However, it's good time to introduce the WisBlock API for those who already don't know what it is. Basically, the WisBlock API is something that one of our the members of our team called Berm, Mr. WisBlock on our RAKStars Discord. You can already know why it's Mr. WisBlock because he is the mastermind behind the many things of the WisBlock ecosystem. So the WisBlock API has several ready-to-use tools for using the WisBlock for your project. I mean, if you are thinking in a new project, the WisBlock API has like a template that you can use for start with. And that template has a LoRaWAN connectivity, BLE configuration, an AT commands interface, um, and a lot of things that you can use to make your projects in a really easy way. So I use it for building this WisBlock Heart. I use it as well in the past for building the firmware for the healing mapper. So several of the features that you already know for the WisBlock healing mapper, for instance, the AD commands configuration or the features to set up using your phone over BLE and things like that. Those all from the WisBlock API. So if you use the WisBlock API, you have all those features um, to improve your product. So if you look into the commits for the of the WisBlock Heart repo in GitHub, you can discover the story of how I developed this firmware. For example, the first commit was just create the platform IO project. The second commit was include the WisBlock API library, and, and adding my 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 features one by one. For example, I want to trigger the messages when I use the accelerometer. So I need to add a way to trigger events when the accelerometer detects that kind of movement. Oh, I need to use the electronic paper display, and I add that mechanism to include the some of the information that we already have on the WisBlock example, which they work very well standalone. For example, if you are testing the electronic paper display for the first time, you can run a model, an example which is showcasing all the um, all the features of that module. However, when you need to join the pieces together for your projects, you need to include, for example, some information from the accelerometer example, some information from the electronic paper example, electronic paper display example. And if you are using some other modules, you need to start like building a stack or of those examples, and they can talk together
Each one.
using the WisBlock API. And the way that looks into project structure is something like this. You have a main file, which is called app, the app file, where you manage all the initialization of your modules, and you have a function for the event handler. You can define all those events on another header file, which is called app as well. And this is the way how WisBlock API can be useful for thinking in your projects. Because, for example, I started with these two files: the app for the source code and the app for the headers. And you can add, for example, this this file is for the accelerometer stuff, only for the accelerometer stuff. This one is only for the e-paper things. So the initialization, how to switch the messages, and things like that. And this one, which is one of the other features that are included later, for example, one of the last features added to the WisBlock API was a way to include your own 80 commands. For example, if I connect to the Heart at this moment, let's let's put some enters over here because I don't. Okay, clear data. If I restart the WisBlock Heart that I have running right now, it shows the logs that are programmed on the firmware and some information about a LoRaWAN configuration that we are going to use later, and it's optional. And this is the way that I can send 80 commands. For example, if I run this command to show a list of the available commands, I can see all these commands, which are from the WisBlock API itself, to set up the LoRa configuration. It could be LoRaWAN or peer-to-peer. And as I add that file for my own 80 commands, I can see this one in the commands list. which is for setting new messages on my WisBlock Heart. So for example, if you need to add 80 commands for your project, you can refer to the, the main code of the WisBlock Heart project and discover how I included into the into this project, how okay is this one, how I added into this project. It's also documented into the WisBlock API documentation in this section. And this is from the one of the latest release of that. So I wanted to use it for this project to showcase how to use it.
It's awesome. Like as Johan mentioned, like right now you have the ability to automatically set up like your own 80 commands to do whatever you need for your development. Let's say that there are some predefined that you can also use to do some configurations, but maybe the ones that you need that you set up do something like more automatical or more easy for you, or change the things that you need from your firmware or your actual hardware device. For example, a thing over here is, let's think on changing the data rate of our devices, like the sample rate that they use to sample the data. Like you are evaluating some use cases, and you don't know like the behavior of the variable that you are measuring, and you don't know if maybe measuring every 15 minutes is the right time, or maybe you can expand that to 30 minutes to 1 hour because the variable is not changing a lot during that time. So you can just easily, like by a 80 command, change those configurations by your own, and you can have the control of all the firmware that you are building for your WisBlock by the WisBlock API.
One of the other files that I have in this short code is this one, which is a way to to add the feature to save back messages, the new messages that I'm going to set into the WisBlock Heart. For example, I can sometimes you can change a variable when the firmware is running, but that variable that value doesn't exist anymore when you reset the device. For example, if I say, okay, the variable that I show on the screen is this variable a, for example. When the variable a takes the value hello, the string hello, I can show it in the screen. However, if I reset the device, and if that variable was no hard coded in the firmware with that value, I lost that value because I didn't store it in the memory of the device, on the no volatile memory of the device. So this user flash data file that I'm using over here is using the same idea of the WisBlock API to storage the LoRaWAN parameters and some of the parameters about how frequent what the transmission rate it is and things like that. It's handled in the WisBlock API using little file system, one library called little file system for the microcontroller that the Discord uses. So I um, I review how was implemented in the WisBlock API for storing those parameters, and I add my new implementation with a new file to storage only the data that I need for my application. In this case, is for storing the 4 different messages of the WisBlock Heart. So when I use the command at set message, which is in this format, if I wanna change the message number one, I type number one. If I want to change the message number three, I can send the three option, and the other parameter is the message that I want to set on the WisBlock Heart. And for example, if I okay, I it's showing the logs because I moved the heart and the accelerometer detected movement and switch the message. And these are my current message just over here. And if I want to change my message, I can use the AT command to switch, for example, the message number one, for example, to say, I love WisBlock. So the message is stored in the memory of the WisBlock and is updated into the screen. And
But I have a question. So it's so the display is a bitmap display, right? So when you enter a message, it needs to be rendered as fonts, and then do you store it on the memory as graphics or as text?
as text, because the
The library
the
does the
display has
rendering.
yeah, there is
Okay.
a function called
when you show the RAK logo, you show an image then in that case,
yeah,
right?
yeah. And for example, the image is loaded into this
Okay.
this way. For example, if you remember well, for our Christmas special, I was using some different images, and that this was the way that I load the images. For the images, I don't have a function for because it's the way how they are stored in the microcontroller.
Okay. We
However,
need to
for
work on that then. Because I have my NFT collection and I want to put it on the display, right? So
okay, that would be an interesting use case for our healing community members.
Exactly.
And to draw the text, simply this function is a call to this function into the source code, which is test draw test. The name is okay. This is for the test. The name is no very good, but this is the function that that I can use to set the test into the display. So we already have in the memory. If I press the reset button into the head, that message as is stored in the memory, I don't lose my message. And if I check the WisBlock, that's the message that I get. So for example, again, if you need to keep some data for your project, for your application, you can refer to this file and look how to implement this kind of mechanism to keep that kind of data that you need for your application, and it will be easy for you to do it in this way. So that's in the
like in theory, like that is how the firmware like works, like how it is split, how we can benefit from the features that the WisBlock API have to have let's say a modularity on the firmware side as well, and not just on the hardware side. And also it helps us to reuse these functions in further project. Like as Johan said, like I use these in the Christmas project, and then I just have it over here, maybe make some changes based on the needs that you need to carry out on it. But at the end, you can just refer to the different, for example, commits that Johan made and made it on purpose in order to share those specific functions that you can reuse to build your own projects as well by separate using the WisBlock API. So there is like one of the coolest things that are about to come. It is that okay, you had just do it by USB serial directly connected from his computer. But there are also two another ways that he can use or any one of us can use to make those setups, which are the ones that are about to come. So
Well,
yeah,
of
I'm
course,
very excited
because
to see.
we
Yeah,
called wireless, right? We're not called rack
Exactly.
wired.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
Completely.
yeah. That's the idea.
I love that.
Okay, very good. Let's say
So,
wire for the book for flashing the firmware, and
yeah.
let's try another ways to do it. Okay, I I this part of the guide shows how to use
Like, sorry.
BLE by downloading an app which is available for Android. This one that I'm showing over here, it's only available for Android, and the other one is available for iOS and Android. The name of this app is NRF Toolbox, and you can use it because it has UART module, which is, for example, the way that I connect to the computer using the serial port. BLE also has similar way to send data to several devices, which is called the BLE BLE UART as well. So depending of the operating system of your smartphone, you can download any of these apps. However, the one for Android has LP1 setup module, which is focused on the LoRaWAN configuration and the way how you can load the device uh, credentials to join to a LoRaWAN network and things like that. However, in this way, because we are using 80 commands, and all those 80 commands are available in within the BLE UART as well, you can use that interface to set up your LoRaWAN credentials as well, even though you don't have this. I'm going to share the details of that one. Is this interface that you can use to load the device EUE, the app EUI, and the app key as well. However, that is only if you are using the third way for setting up the messages on the WisBlock Heart. So let's jump into the way how I can. Okay, today I can now share my phone screen.
At this
However,
moment. Mhm.
however, I'm going to open the app. Okay, if I just move over here, you can use that. You can see
I
that
am
I'm using
texting.
my. You can see that
Yeah,
I'm
like
using my.
it's important like to highlight. I know that Johan just mentioned it, but in the Android version in this WisBlock Toolbox application, there are like some additional features that you can take advantage of. But the NRF toolbox doesn't limitate you to make those changes as well, since you can send any IT command, AT command to make those changes. If you want to set your LoRa credentials, you can do it as well. So if you have an iPhone model, iPhone cellular, don't worry, you can still take the benefit of all these tips and tricks that Johan is sharing today.
Or if you have an iPad, you can use your iPad as well. For I'm going to use that because I'm going to share because using the NRF Connect NRF Toolbox app is very the way we can send the 80 commands is very similar to the way that I shared before when we were using
The serial.
the serial. So I'm going to
Okay.
connect to the WisBlock Heart, and I'm going to share over here the that process because I have an animation over here to show that. Then I open the UI module. The next time that I use this kind of devices, I'm going to connect it in a way that I can share the screen as well. Because I cannot do it very quickly right now, but I think is it a little, yeah, it's a little bit clear. Okay, you can see some clothing on my okay, I just connected to the device, and as you can see over here, it says connected to WD which stands for
WisBlock
love, and it is connected. And if I go to the section to send 80 commands, I can see a similar interface to the one that I see when I connect to the computer over serial. And if I run, for example, 80, the device shows on logs, for example, reserve DLE information and answers with an OK. And if I send quickly a new command over here, for example, 80 plus set message equal, let's reach the message number 3, for example.
So basically, now that we can make the changes over BLE, that means that if you give this heart to your loved one, let's say your partner, and like you sleep together, you can wake up and change the message.
You can change the lover message to someone else.
Exactly.
But if you are in another room and she is in the next room, you can connect over BLE and send some message.
You can have multiple levels. Excellent. I have a question. How do you start this service in the Arduino side? Are you going to show that? Because is it automatic, the serial service? Does it? Yeah.
Are you talking about the serial monitor into the Arduino?
Yes. So the serial is a Bluetooth service, right? How do you start it in the Arduino code? Is it easy?
Yeah, it's very easy because we are using the WisBlock API. The WisBlock API.
I knew this was coming.
The WisBlock API has, for example, this macro that I can click over here to expand it. Has, for example, if the BLE URL is connected, I can print something that I decide what I want to print. For example, if I go into the electronic paper display file, I choose, for example, when I switch and the message, the logs are going to show EPD and the message number that is showing the display. So, for example, if I send the command to switch the message at this moment,
Mm-hmm.
if I press send, the logs are gonna show that I change the message number 3, and the message is BLE, which is the one that I sent, that I just sent, and is the one that I'm going to disconnect over here, this one, to show you that the WisBlock Heart is showing that message. But I need to take the hair very carefully, because I don't want to activate the another way to switch the message, which is the
Yeah.
accelerometer. So I'm going to
So just a summary for the
slow.
like Jose questions. It is like there is a pre-built method within the WisBlock API that already handles that configuration setup for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I just needed to add the logic to process all the things that are now included on the WisBlock API. For example, when I get the messages, there is a handler for the BLE data. So
Okay.
when BLE is processed, I send that string to the 80 serial processor.
Mm-hmm.
So as I have my own 80 command for processing the those
USB.
messages, I
Okay.
can switch the EPD display when I get the the 80 command set message, and I save that message into the flash and
Mm-hmm.
things like that. So
So
that's
you
the
use the same code for the serial and the Bluetooth. You just change the way that the handler. So the
yeah.
Bluetooth handler sends the data to the input handler. Got it.
Correct.
Okay.
So
Cool.
that's our second way to send the message.
And now the best way, which is over Helium, of course, right?
Yeah, because you can do it in another location. You could do it if you are at the office and your loved one is at the house. You
Yep.
can split the message remotely.
Yeah, actually, a bus company actually contacted me and asked, we'd like to try changing the timetables. You know, each bus stop has a timetable, and they wanted to change that over Helium. So to show where the bus is coming, so how many minutes the bus still has to come. So maybe we can change the displays later on to do that.
Completely.
Yeah,
Completely.
the limit is our creativity nowadays
Over
Yeah.
for
our
almost many of the
imagination.
things.
So when you dump your girlfriend, then you don't need the button. We can use it for a timetable. That would be great.
Awesome.
Much more useful. Man.
Completely.
My wife isn't
So,
listening,
yeah,
I think.
that's- oh no, but yeah, like as just Jose shared, like that was like the main idea of building this. It's like we just create like a fun project out of the holiday. However, the technical things and the features that it have can be used for any kind of project for any industry, and also if you add other kind of sensors and keeps expanding that modularity, you can reach many things. As Johan said, like the limitation over here is our imagination and our creativity for sure.
Okay, if you go to the guide, maybe we already covered almost this the all these parts. So let's go into the LoRaWAN part, which is optional. I talk as optional because the WisBlock Heart is working. You can set up your customized messages and things like that. However, you can go even deeper because as we are using the WisBlock API, it's really easy to create a device in the Helium console and set the credential into the WisBlock, and you have your device transmitting data.
Mhm.
So let's look how to let's show how to do that. I have a device over here, which I call WisBlock. The last connection was yesterday, and let's use these credentials to set up this part. Even though you can use the BLE app as well to set these parameters, I'm going to use the AP commands using the serial interface in order that you can see all the logs and the commands that I'm going to send. So if I type AT plus def EUI, and if I copy from here up the UI, the app EUI, and copy from here, in the same way I can copy the app key. Let's check quickly that they are the same. Okay, okay, and okay. Another thing that I need to set is the LoRaWAN region. In this case, I'm going to use the number that is shown over here. I'm in a country that use this regional band, so I'm going to send the value number 1. This region also needs something that is called the subband, in the same way that the regional time for United States needed when we are using Helium. Maybe that would change in the future, but right now we need to use the subband number 2 for these regions. I also need to set the default value, for example, for the transmission period, it's 2 minutes. I wanna modify that to show the messages, the uplink messages more frequently. For example, 15 seconds, and I quickly check that all the other parameters that I needed to set up and send it. The div UI, that EUI, app EUI, app key, the region, the Sudan. Okay, we are ready to start the join.
The mask was already added. The
I think
AT mask
so.
command.
Yeah, Sudan number 2 is the result of
Yeah.
that, and it got sent. Yeah, it got sent over here.
Cool.
So I think that we can join right now. I if my hotspot is online, I let me put this screen on the left side and this for one over here, and I can open the debug view after pressing the.
Enter.
I'm going to send the AT-join command right now.
Mm-hmm. Start praying the demo live gods.
Okay.
Woohoo!
This is so nice.
Okay, it
So
works.
this is. Go ahead, Mary.
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay. This is the join request. This is the join asset, and let's wait a little bit for an uplink. This is our first uplink, and yeah, we are getting those messages over here. You can see a downlink message schedule sent over here. I think that I scheduled maybe yesterday. Mm, so it got sent that this device received a downlink message that I scheduled yesterday maybe, and it was into the pending things on the Helium console. However, I'm going to schedule a new one in order to show you how you can schedule the uplinks to set the messages that the WisBlock Heart is going to process to change the message on the screen. So the way to do that is sending some test which has the the same format that we use for the Trio interface and the BLE interface. So for example, if I wanna let's look into the current messages that I have into the WisBlock. The message one is I love WisBlock. The message two is this about Valentine's Day. And let's change, for example, the message that I sent before that is I love WisBlock. So the format is I want to change the message number one, and you can suggest me a message. I'm going to read a comment for the message that you want to set into the display.
Awesome.
Into the display.
Well, okay, let's wait for someone who suggests a message over the comments,
Yeah.
guys. There are many active people around there, so please send us a cute, nice message to set up. In the meantime, I would like to clarify some doubt from Thomas, and I also noticed this is that when you set up the time for transmission, the repeated time, it is in milliseconds, because you just place 15 seconds, right?
Yeah, when I send the AT command, that time is in seconds. However,
Okay.
it's stored in the WisBlock memory in milliseconds. For example, I can show over here that is 15,000 milliseconds, which is
exactly.
The 15 seconds that I can compare over here. That's the transmission period. That's the frequency that I'm receiving these up messages.
Awesome. Thanks for the clarifications right there. And the message that we received was hack. ACK.
What?
ACK.
Okay, ACK. I think that Thomas is confirming that
he
that
received
our
the
answer.
information.
Yeah.
Oh, God,
Okay.
nice. Okay, geek language over here. Nice.
Okay, we are waiting for the message. Don't be shy.
I think the people is shy in the comments. I don't know why. So yeah, let's just assign one. Let's put Hanos with RAKStar. What do you think?
I tried with that one, but a comment that I need to add about that message is that it has a hidden, and that is a special character that is not included in the font
in your
that
list.
I'm using. Yeah.
Okay, don't worry. So let's just have Valentine's Day.
Okay.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Okay. Happy Valentine's. Okay, I can now have
Don't
this
worry.
simple quote.
Yeah, Valentine's Day.
And we need to take in mind that the way I program the WisBlock Heart only can show 20 characters per line. And for example, if the message that I send has more characters than
20.
the 20 characters, you can start
Split it.
to get split words.
Mhm.
For example, let's try with this one and let's check how it's shown in the screen. So I schedule okay, this is, I didn't select the text option. If I didn't select the text option, I get this message over here, which is downing drop. The downing couldn't be scheduled because this message was not well encoded using base 64 codification. If I select the test, I can schedule right now.
It's okay, kid.
And let's keep an eye over here to know when that message arrives. For example, this is the byte per byte of the message, and the message number one, switch to Happy Valentine's Day, and I'm going to show you the result into the WisBlock Heart.
Can you maybe like disconnect the heart and like connect it all together and move it the first time to see the changes, like the whole changes? Yeah, it's got broken a little bit. Yeah, the day has to be in the second line.
And you can add some spaces to
Exactly.
to add to center the last score day and things like that. Maybe in the future, if some of you implement or continue using this project or suggest that that is a useful feature that I can add, maybe I can work on it later. For example, a feature to recognize if the test that I'm receiving fits to the screen and add a logic. For example, add some spaces over here to show the message correctly into the screen and things like that. However, for now, let's add some spaces.
Cool. Actually, it's funny to see like how we like come up with this idea. I don't know if you are familiar with that black eight ball from pool, like the pool game, that is the lucky ball that you ask a question, then you take it, and then you get an answer. I don't know, Jose, if you're familiar with those black
Yeah,
balls.
you shake it and then you
Yeah,
get a different message.
and
Yeah,
then you get a exactly. So
yeah.
I saw this. It was like, okay, what do you think about having something like this, but with the WisBlock and showing like instead of this lucky message, it's more like a love message for St. Valentine's, and we come up with the whole crazy and fun idea. But it's pretty nice. Johan, just to like end it up and conclude with the session. I think you already covered like all the technical things, right? Or there
Yeah,
is something additional that you would like to add?
no, we already
Done
walked
with the
through over
integration.
all the steps of the guide.
Awesome.
So
So
I can
just to
disconnect.
conclude, yeah, exactly. Let's disconnect, see that click on live.
Okay,
And
I
then,
disconnected the head right now,
uh-huh.
and I can click the
The
this button.
ASMR portion of the show now.
Exactly.
So
We have, well, go ahead.
when assembling, my recommendation is to put this
The
this
downside,
side,
yeah,
yeah,
first.
because there in this side is the clicking mechanism. So if
Mm-hmm.
you assure that later, click.
Oh, wow, that's fun.
Awesome. I
Yeah,
love
this
it.
is the result.
Time to take it.
Very good.
Thanks
Awesome.
for
Thanks for
following the
following the
tutorial.
tutorial. Love it. Love it. It's very nice. Well done. Well done, Johan. I
And there
really
you have
like
a finished product ready to sell, right?
it. Exactly. Perfect. Perfect for use it for this holiday. So you have all the weekend to print a lot of hearts, getting many WisBlocks and build your own.
Yeah.
No, but also like yeah, it is a pleasure to share like all these kind of things with you. Like we really enjoy all the creative process and writing this guide for you. And also before finishing and concluding with the session, if you find the project interested and you want to have the chance to replicate it and use the model you said, and remember to participate in the giveaway we announced just at the beginning. Just to participate, in case you haven't been here since the beginning, all you have to do is to follow us on our Hackster hub. I'm going to be leaving just the Hackster hub link on the comment section over here, so you can just go and check it out. Follow us, and in case you are already a follower of our hub, just leave a comment on the WisBlock Heart project that Johan shares, and you will be already listed in the participation to be one of the 5 lucky winners to get the whole kit to replicate the project. So yeah, that's all. Not sure if someone of you want to add something else over here. We don't have like a specific questions over the comments, but yeah, nice comment as always from our community members. People saying hi, leaving some emojis, liking our ideas about community chats, saying hi, Joy, nice to see you over here. Also here from San. Oh my gosh, that's solar in high iron hack. It's genius. Actually, it's pretty nice. Some heart from team members. Stick and let is there's a post on the mapper uplinks. Well, over here, also Thomas sharing some things and their questions. Well done, Johan. Great project.
Thank you.
Of course, this was the ball that I was talking about, the lucky one. And oh, it's super nice to see this kind of comment. It's the first time I have seen this
Yeah.
blog. It looks really good. Thank you. Amazing. That is why we do these kind of activities, and I love to see this before concluding the session. Thanks, 6B6D, for sharing your comments. Looking forward to see you around other session as well. So yeah, I think that's all for today.
I think
I'm not
so.
sure if you want to add Happy Valentine's Day before Happy Valentine's Day. Awesome,
Okay.
awesome.
I think one thing to highlight over here is that
Mhm.
our giveaway doesn't include the 3D printer
Oh, what? Oh
parts.
my God.
Okay,
However, there
however,
is
I
there
thought
is
we were
more.
going to print them. Oh
We
no.
can print it. We can print it. Why not?
what do you
Let's see
think,
what we
Jose? We
can
can make it possible?
do.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Right.
And deliver the full heart ready to be used. Maybe let's
Okay.
discuss internally to see what we can do on that side. However, let's say that you are not one of the lucky winners and you want to replicate it. Just get the components, go
Get the
through the
files
RAKStars Fingerverse, and then you will be able
and
to
the soldering
download
iron.
in the
You need the soldering iron. So,
and you will be ready to replicate it. All the source file, as always, as all of our WisBlock ecosystem is open source. So feel free to do it, to replicate it, to change the hard form, to build another kind of project using the same mechanisms. It's up to you to build whatever you need and whatever you want.
And for example,
So
if you have the Helium developer kit, you just need
mhm,
to get the electronic paper display.
right.
exactly. Mhm. So yeah, I think that's all. As I just shared, thanks for joining the session today. Like we recognize that we have been away for a couple of weeks. Nevertheless, as I just shared, we have something excited in the works for you all. since we are looking to make this more a community space where you can also bring your WisBlock Hearts or your other kind of projects in top of the conversation and be able to share all each other and in the same place. With having you the comments and we over the stage, we want to have all of you over here. So if you have something in mind that you would like to share with our whole community, feel free to reach out to us directly, either on Discord or to our RAKStars emails at rakstars.rakwireless.com, and we can define something to collaborate together for sure. So yeah, that's all for today, Jose. Johan, thanks so much for your time, and also Johan,
Mhm.
thanks for building such a cool project for our RAKStar community.
Thanks everyone for joining. See you
Thank you
next
so
week,
much.
or no, maybe not.
See you next week. Yeah, why not? For sure.
Okay.
For sure. Happy hacking, folks.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Have a nice weekend.
You too.